Peace and love, more love than peace. How you doing? Uh, Today we're gonna talk about this guy, Fyodor Mikhailovich Dostoevsky. Uh, this is the biography written by Joseph Frank. Uh, you see, 5 books. Man, it's amazing. Uh, and so it tells the story of the Russian writer for sure. Divided into parts, like a chunk of years, no, 1865 to 1871, 1860 to 1865, you know, in different volumes. I'm not talk about each volume individually. I'm talk about the general view of the work. Uh, for sure, it's the best biography I read in my life because, man, we have 5 volumes. If something is missing here, and it is, I'm gonna explain later. It's because of other stuff that uh, uh, because the writer didn't want to put in that. It's sometimes because he couldn't. And it tells the story about Dostoevsky, you know, like when he was born, the family. He came from a noble family that was not so noble anymore. He went to doing engineer in a military school, but then when he was a young adult, he got involved in a group because this what I always say, you know, if you have a plain life, if you have a lot of money, a rich life, uh, and nothing strange happened to you, probably you don't change your mind, you don't do things differently, you know. And that was the case of Dostoevsky because he was involved in a group called the Petrachevsk group. It was a group that was discussing about politics, about arts, and all these things. You know. But at that time, we're talking about the turn from the 18th to 19th century. It was considered subversive groups, you know, because people want that you don't need to think about different things in life, you know. Just go straight and live your life. Don't be too much philosophical, you know. In the Tsar moments in Russia. Uh, Anyways, Dostoevsky was caught. He was sent to Siberia, and that was the moment that changed his life, in my opinion. He had a false execution. You know, he went to be executed, but in the moment of execution, the Tsar absolved him. You know, so but this led to a lot of things, you know, because when you see that your life is in the end, uh, when it finishes, you cannot do anything. But if it keeps on, and I have experience about that, if it keeps on, you just think, okay, if tomorrow is my next day, is my last day of life, what should I be doing? Uh, and then after that, he started to go in deep to the psychological side of a human being, you know. And in my opinion, this is what led him to become one of the greatest writers of all time. Uh, and also in those books talks about his relationship with women. You know, he got married too late. His first wife died. You know, the second wife was working with him, doing the notes of his books. You know, it, it's also said a lot of things about his epilepsy problems, his relationship with other writers of the time, such as Tolstoy, Nechayev, you know, other ones, uh, Dostoievski, and all these guys. And it's great to see that Dostoevsky is one of my faves of all time, because there's something, because he goes deep into psychological side of human being. I remember Crime and Punishment. I had it here. One girlfriend gave me once. Can't find it now. I just understand totally what he said about Raskolnikov. You know, the way he thinks that, oh, the old lady, she doesn't need to live because she's getting money from people. Her life is not important. You know, so uh, this mentality that he shows in the books in Crime and Punishment mainly. Uh, it That's one good thing that Joseph Frank does. Uh, the personal life of Dostoevsky is shown when it's necessary to understand his work, because it's not just gossip for gossip because it's not necessary. But when you see that the actions of his life is affecting his work, or the other way around, it's shown in the book. You know, and there's another thing that says it's like Dostoevsky was afraid to be buried alive, buried dead. It's okay to be buried alive. Um, this is why he says to his relatives that when he dies, they should wait 1 week to bury him, because he had this kind of vision in his mind that he would be buried alive and wake up in the middle of the earth and try to hit the coffin to get out of there. You know, so that's fucking heavy. The other thing he says is about uh, the the chapter of the demon, uh, Stavrogin Confessions. You know, it's the chapter that, and I got this chapter in the internet when Dostoevsky described